My name is Chris. My channel is called The Body Wish, your gateway to holistic remedies, wellness tips, and improved mindset. Welcome to my series, Wellementary, where I connect with experts in fitness, nutrition, along with my recommendations to help you live a healthy and abundant life. What's up, YouTube? How's it going? My name is Chris. My channel is The Body Wish. I'm the man with the hat and the microphone.
I know that, dude.
I work in the health and wellness industry, and I help people to achieve and maintain optimal well-being. I do this by recommending certain foods that set them up for success. I help them to steer clear of the ones that are going to trip them up for failure, and I am also a proponent of improving your mindset. Having a higher level of self-confidence married up with great nutrition helps to ensure that you're going to have a more successful wellness journey. So I'm not here to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disorder. That's the job of your healthcare practitioner. But I do want to help people achieve an abundant lifestyle, one that is rich with health and vitality. My niche is helping people who are struggling with losing weight, not just in the short term, but keeping it off for the long haul. It's actually a lot harder than it should be. And I'm going to share some science as to why so many people are struggling with this. So I will be talking about food cravings. I will be talking about calorie deficit, what it is and what it is not. I'm also going to introduce a groundbreaking nutritional system. It's a holistic system that has 7 clinical trials that does not involve counting calories. So I will talk about counting calories, what it is and what it is not. But I do want to start out by talking about how we improve our sense of self-confidence, because that's where change begins. That's the platform where we start to decide who we want to be and what direction we want to go in. Now, it's not always as easy as it sounds. I'm not going to give you some anecdotal pom-pom, go team go and wave a magic wand. It's something that you have to incorporate and you have to be consistent with. So I think we've all gotten to a point where we realize life is not a walk in the park. It's quite the opposite. And many people, I've been there myself, where we feel stuck. And we feel frustrated, and, this leads to that doom and gloom attitude. This is, hey, Obsessive Philosopher, great name. Yes, this is a live stream. So talking about ways to improve self-confidence and help people to lose weight who are feeling demoralized. So how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining my presentation. It's an honor. I actually have my microphone turned on. I did this last night, and I completely left my mic muted for the first 10 minutes. So I was testing people's sense of humor. So anyway, I want to show you some ways that can help to improve your sense of self-confidence. It's not always easy as it should be, but I do have some things I'm very fired up to share with you. Now, oftentimes we get stuck in a long-term rut. We get demoralized. Now, when we get stuck in stuck in a rut, this is where we get disconnected from taking care of ourselves, because it no longer has the importance that it deserves. And what does that mean? It means hello, unhealthy lifestyle habits. And trying to turn this around can feel like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. And it shouldn't be this difficult, yet here we are. Okay, now before I pull out the pom-poms and say go team go, I want to say right up front, it's okay to feel demoralized. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to indulge in self-pity. These are your feelings. Everyone has a right to express these feelings. You own them. You will never hear me say, you shouldn't feel that way. Quite the opposite. If you're feeling like this, you need to express it. I mean, imagine, some people go for counseling. What do you do when you go to counseling? You don't sit there and pretend, the world is shiny and, a stroll in the park. You go there to vent. It's very important. We are emotional beings. We need to express. And it's, a step towards moving in the right direction and healing. But I also want to say there's a catch to this too, because as much as you feel justified in your unhappiness, in your resentment, in whatever failures you're experiencing with your life and the frustration that goes with it, the question you got to ask yourself too is, how much of your life do you want to spend bitching about it? You don't want this to become the better part of your life. And I speak from experience. I went through years of just feeling demoralized and frustrated with life in general. I wasn't getting what I wanted in life. And I felt justified in this. But like I said, it will start to have diminishing returns. Yes, it's okay to go through periods of this. We just don't want to get stuck in it where it becomes the whole of our life. So it's easy to get tangled in these. So, and that, you know, I think the biggest thing I walked away from in all of this is the sun's still going to rise in the morning. We're going to see the moon a few times out during the year. All I was doing was spinning my gears. All right, so how do we really turn things around? Well, my advice is to start using consistency. And what I mean by that is consistently start telling yourself you have the goods. Okay, and not just once in a while when the mood hits you. This is not a part-time job. This is a commitment that you make to yourself. It's kind of like brushing your teeth. I hope we're all at a point where we're brushing our teeth at least once a day. Otherwise, you're going to find people keeping their distance from you. Sarcasm. But think about this for a second. If you're spending hours and hours of your day, the better part of your life, feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling stuck, frustrated, all the above, don't you deserve to take a couple of moments out of your day and pat yourself on the back for something? Of course you do. You deserve this. You owe this to yourself. Don't wait for recognition or praise to drop out of the sky or to come from the outside. Okay? I've never seen a billboard on the highway that said, acknowledge your greatness. Would be nice. Be a change, but don't wait for that to happen. This is something you got to take charge of. All right? And it's about developing consistent lifestyle habits. Like I said a minute ago, it's like brushing your teeth, putting your shoes on. Start saying affirmations, okay? We've kind of been misled into thinking, in some respects, some people think, well, this is egotistical if I say I'm a great person. No, it's not. It's about being comfortable in your own shoes, all right? It's about being your own best friend instead of your nemesis, okay? Why is this important? Because you got to live with yourself. And many of you, myself included, I've had this in my life where we feel stuck because we didn't measure up to somebody else's expectations, or some milestone in life we were supposed to, strive to. But, my advice to that is leave that in the past where it belongs, because there is no hierarchy. There's no such thing as, oh, they're so great and they're up there and I'm the lowlife down here. That's toxic. All right. And many people tell themselves this is a lie, and they repeat it to themselves. This is what I'm talking about. We want to get you out of this doom and gloom mentality because it sucks. It's no fun. How about start saying things like, today I overcome all of my setbacks. Now, when you start saying these are affirmations, by the way. Affirmations are short phrases that instill a sense of optimism. When you start saying these, they might sound shrill. They might be devoid of any kind of feeling at first. But with repetition, it's like exercise without the lactic acid. Okay, and what happens is when you least expect it, you're going to have one of these moments where your mood perks up a bit. And it might even be just for a moment, like a really quick moment. But that moment will be undeniable. And that one small moment, that snapshot, proves it's working. And what we want to do is we want that to expand, so it's not just a fleeting moment here and there. We start developing a more positive outlook, all right? And what that does is it starts opening doors, starts opening opportunities that you never even dreamed of because you've been stuck in the past. So now what happens is, I mentioned a minute ago, when we get stuck in this doom and gloom mentality, a lot of us start developing unhealthy lifestyle habits. Nah, it's a video like, what do you think? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So we start turning to things like food, and for good reason. Food tastes good. It's pleasurable. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it. Not to say we wouldn't be around for very long if we didn't. But we start developing these habits of, eating because there's some pleasure involved. I mean, food is pleasure. I lived with a chef for 10 years. Tell me food isn't pleasurable when you got like wonderfully cooked meals for you. So I get it. But here's the catch now. A lot of the foods in the supermarket are nutritionally bankrupt. They don't have the nutrients. So you're actually not serving your nutritional needs. And what happens is this is the kind of the footsteps towards food cravings, unsatiated food cravings, persistent food cravings. It's like a mosquito buzzing in your ear. And people get obsessed with this. What follows next? People start putting on weight. Then they get more demoralized because now they're not happy with their body. See what I'm saying? So this is like this vicious cycle that starts to snowball. Now, the thing with respect to the foods, this is not your fault. This is a function or a dysfunction of the food industry because you become a better customer. They have set it up so that a lot of these foods create these food cravings in the first place. So what are you doing? You're buying more food to console yourself. All right, but you're not nourishing your body. And the whole idea of nourishing the body has kind of been left out in the fog somewhere. It's like, yeah, I heard of that word once a long time ago. It sounds good. But we've gotten so far disconnected from that. And it shows because now more than half of the population is overweight. Half of that group is obese. The other half is pre-diabetic. Now, most, if not all people are turning to some method of calorie deficit to combat this, to get their weight under control. But guess what? Calorie deficit is based on obsolete science. All right. First of all, your body doesn't know what a calorie is. Okay. Your body doesn't count calories. The only thing your body understands is nutrition. It only responds to the quality of the nutrition that you give it. Because food is fuel for your body. Now, I want to show you just so you know, I'm not just saying this because I like the sound of my voice. I always lead with clinical research when I make certain claims, and I encourage you guys to look this up. You can take a screenshot of this. This was a study put out a few years ago by Harvard University called Stop Counting Calories. The scientists who led this investigation said that not only is calorie counting inefficient, that it's flat out wrong. Here's why. I said your body doesn't know what a calorie is. Your body does not count calories. What you're doing when you go into a calorie deficit is you're actually dialing back the amount of fuel you're giving your body. Now you might be like, well, wait a minute, I'm overweight. I need to not eat so much. It's not as cut and dry as that. Because when you go into a calorie deficit, all right, you are actually denying your body vital nutrients it needs to run a healthy metabolism. Healthy metabolism meaning the metabolism is all the processes the body goes through when it converts food into energy. So you're cutting back on that amount of fuel. We need a certain amount of fuel to blink, to walk, to breathe, to move, to sit still. When you have less nutrition, less fuel, your body turns to other sources of energy. And the two places it turns to is fat, but it also turns to muscle. And when we start to lose muscle, that's what slows the metabolism down. So what happens? Many people who either were on a diet or are doing these appetite suppression drugs, they have success at first. Anybody can lose weight in calorie deficit. You can lose weight on a Coca-Cola diet, a Ben & Jerry's diet. But at some point, most people are having that metabolism slow down. So what happens is they hit a plateau. They hit that brick wall. Why can't I lose any more weight? Why am I actually going backwards now? Why am I putting the weight back on? None of this is my opinion. All right, I'll give you another resource. There's a British medical journal called the Lancet Journal. Go online, look up obesity apocalypse. All right, this journal has published a study that says if we don't change course, if we don't change this trend, because the numbers are going up, they're predicting by 2050, over 260 million Americans are going to be overweight or obese. That's not good news. That's not very encouraging. Most, if not all of these people are turning to some method of calorie deficit. So you tell me, calorie deficit is all it's cracked up to be. How come the numbers are going up? All right, so it doesn't work for most people. Yes, a few will dodge the raindrops. They'll get the results they want, and they'll be able to maintain it. Most people, it's not happening. So if calorie counting is not working, okay, it's not all it's cracked up to be, what other options do we have? Well, I want to take a couple of minutes and share a holistic nutritional system with you that, A, it does not rely on counting calories. Instead, what it does is it nourishes the body, it lowers stress, and it removes toxins that we're all exposed to, toxins that get stored in our fat cells. Some of this might be new information. So the original concept of this system, I'm going to show you some slides in a minute, was to flood the body with the nutrients that it needs, but not overeat. Cut back on the amount of food, but not cut back on the amount of nutrition. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is called a 30-day reset. Okay, it's been clinically tested now at some of the top universities. These are called human clinical trials. It was tested against the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean is like the gold standard of weight loss options. It's been voted by U.S. News and World Report 7 years in a row as the best diet out there. And it's not a bad diet. It's a whole foods diet, but because it does rely on calorie deficit, people ended up putting the weight back on. So I'll go through a quick rundown of what these products include, and then I'll go and show you a little bit of the science behind this. So the big canister in the middle with the red text, these are superfoods. These are really easy to prepare, just like your favorite smoothie. The two in the back are adaptogens. Adaptogens help to lower your stress level. They do work. I know they work for me because I stopped swearing at my computer so much. And the ones in the bottom left are something you take on a day of intermittent fasting. I want to show you some of the studies now because you don't have to take my word for it. So when this was tested against the Mediterranean diet, the gold standard diet, in the first of 7 studies, after 8 weeks, those who are on this 30-day system lost 56% more weight. That's pretty significant. They lost twice as much visceral fat. That's the stubborn fat down in the belly. That's also the same fat that harbors toxins when we can't eliminate them from our body. Guess what? Toxins that we don't eliminate cause brain fog. They cause fatigue. They cause increased rates of depression. Diets don't address this. Neither do these appetite suppression drugs. Those who are on the 30-day also saw a 41% drop in food cravings, 25% improvement in gut health. And my favorite stat, people added muscle. If this was a diet, people would be losing muscle. 6 to 9% more lean muscle, and no exercise was involved with this study because they didn't want exercise to influence the test results. Now I'll show you how easy this is, all right? So 3 core products. The first one is the superfoods. For less than a Starbucks, each serving, an 8-ounce serving, you get 90 key nutrients. This is what makes it a meal replacement. They're low glycemic. They're not going to spike your sugar level. They have 36 grams of whey or plant-based protein, gluten-free, soy-free, essential vitamins and minerals, everything that should be going into a nice healthy meal. And they come in a variety of delicious flavors. They're great for people with busy schedules. So what you do is you replace 2 of your 3 meals with these superfoods. Easy peasy, right? And there's no junk. No microbial activity, no heavy metals, no fungicides, pesticides, dioxins, PCBs. Unfortunately, a lot of this junk is in the foods we're eating. So these are free of any contaminants. So this is what you do for the first 6 days. How easy is this? Replace 2 meals with nutritionally dense superfoods. On the 7th day, we're going to do a day of intermittent fasting. This product here is something we'll take 4 times throughout the day. It helps the liver get rid of these awful toxins, toxins that cause brain fog, toxins that cause fatigue, things like dioxins, PCBs. Half of these I've never even heard of before, but I know that they're bad for you because I have looked them up. Even forever chemicals. Forever chemicals don't break down. They'll stay in your life for a lifetime if you're not able to eliminate them. Third and final core product, this is how we manage our stress. We lower our stress by consuming adaptogens. Adaptogens help to bring us back to homeostasis. That's a sense of feeling grounded again. Takes the edge off. So the 3 combinations here are what help to optimize the body for more vibrant metabolism, stronger immune system. The body is the miracle. We just got to give it what it needs. And I wish I could say, just go to the supermarket and get A, B, C, D. But unfortunately, even a lot of the healthy foods, A, don't have medical proof on how effective they are, and B, they don't have the nutrients that we need. I struggled for over 25 years. I was dealing with these unexplained bouts of fatigue. Speaking of being tired all the time. In the last 5 years of that 25-year period, I had to stop exercising. I became exercise intolerant. Kind of a strange word. Sounds, I don't know, I'll come up with something, but it sounds odd. But I couldn't exercise. If I did 15 minutes of stretching, guess what happened to me the next day? Late morning, early afternoon, my ears were ringing like church bells. I felt like I was up all night. What? For 15 minutes of stretching? No, something's wrong with this picture here. I went to a number of different doctors, got tested for Lyme disease, for Epstein-Barr, thyroid condition, food allergies, heavy metals, and a bunch of others. I'd have to look up my records, but I went around the block with this. Tried working with a naturopath, tried working with a nutritionist. I hired a dietitian at some point. I lived with a chef for 10 years. I'm not a stranger to eating healthy foods. None of that made a dent. Zero, zip, nada. I'm playing by the rule book, and I got zero in return. So 4 years ago, somebody I've known a long time tells me about this system. He said, take it for a test spin. If you don't like it, you get your money back. I'm like, all right. I had no expectations. I did it more out of curiosity. But after the first week, 6 days of the superfoods, then the day of intermittent fasting. The following day, 5 years of brain fog cleared up. I mean, I had to pinch myself. I'm like, this thing works? So I went through the whole 30-day system and everything improved. After striking out on, trying out so many different modalities, it's like, kumbaya, I finally found something that works. So that's why I'm here today. That's why for the last 4 years, I've been sharing the benefits with this. For if you know somebody or you yourself is struggling, low energy, poor sleep habits, maybe you're dealing with, excessive weight issues and you tried different things and you struck out, this is worth taking a look at. All right. I'll show you a website. You can get some information. By the way, you can get to the same website on, my home channel here. I've got a link there, but I'll put it up on the screen for you right now. Give me 1 second here. I got to just switch cameras. You can take a screenshot of this, whatever is easy for you. It's called thebodywish.wordpress.com. When you get to the home page, go up to products, click on nutritional system. It's got a lot of good information in there. It's a little bit of science-y, but nothing too complex. I think you guys will be fine. And if it's something you want to get more information on, all you do is go over to the contact page. I've got a Calendly link up there. Schedule a Zoom call with me. Bring your questions, bring your skepticism. I'm very transparent. If you're nerdy and you want to look up the clinical research on this system, I will send you a link where you can get to the actual medical studies that have been published in medical journals. How many systems out there, how many products out there in the supermarkets get human clinical trials conducted? Probably next to none. Why is that important? Because you don't have to rely on people like me. You don't have to take my word for it. The science is irrefutable. It stands up on its own. It's in a medical journal. So if anybody's got any questions, you can reach out to me. You can post them now because I'm going to drop off in a minute. Otherwise, follow me for more wellness tips, holistic remedies, things to improve your mindset. I want to help people because I know people are stuck. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, other influencers promoting calorie deficit and, drink this mushroom coffee and you'll have all this energy overnight. Yeah, whatever. All that is marketing. So, but the thing is, I read the comments and I see people are really struggling. So I found something that works, something that has helped tens of thousands of people. The system's been around for 10 years. It's the real deal. If you don't like it, you get your money back. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know unless we take that extra step and do some investigation. So on that note, I'm going to drop off. It's always an honor to connect with you. Thanks for checking out my presentation and enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao for now.